सर्वेषां सुप्रभातम्। पठामि संस्कृतं नित्यं, वदामि संस्कृतं सदा, ध्यायामि संस्कृतं सम्यक्, वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। संस्कृतस्य प्रसाराय नैजं सर्वं ददाम्यहम्। संस्कृतस्य सदा भक्तो वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। संस्कृतस्य कृते जीवन्, संस्कृतस्य कृते यजन्। आत्मानं आहुतं मन्ये, वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। ओम नमः शिवाय।
धन्यवादः। अस्तु, ह्यः वयं भविष्यत्कालविषये पठितवन्तः। इदानीम् एकैकः अपि एकवाक्यं भूत भव्य भविष्यत्काले वदन्तु, अनन्तरम् अद्यतनपाठं प्रति गच्छामः। अवगतं खलु? एकवाक्यं समानवाक्ये भूतकालप्रयोगः, इदानीं वर्तमानकालप्रयोगः, भविष्यत्कालप्रयोगः च वदन्तु। उदाहरणं, बालकः अस्ति। बालकः ह्यः गृहपाठं लिखितवान्, अथवा बालकः ह्यः गृहपाठम् अलिखत्, अथवा बालकः ह्यः गृहपाठं लिखति स्म। किमपि बालकः अद्य विद्यालयं गच्छति। पुनः भविष्यत्कालप्रयोगे बालकः श्वः क्रीडाङ्गनं गमिष्यति। वाक्यत्रयं, भूतकालप्रयोगे एकवाक्यं, वर्तमानकालप्रयोगे द्वितीयवाक्यं, भविष्यत्कालप्रयोगे तृतीयवाक्यं च। अवगतं? सर्वे अपि एकमेकं वदतु। सरलं भवतु वाक्यं, बहु अधिक पदानि तत्र मा योजयन्तु। सरलवाक्यं भवतु। कालत्रये अपि वाक्यरचना।
Shall I try?
Shall I try,
Guru? बालकः विद्यालयं गच्छति। बालकः विद्यालयम् अगच्छत्। बालकः विद्यालयं गच्छत्
गमिष्यति।
What is it?
पुनः वदतु, अन्तिमवाक्यं पुनः वदतु।
बालकः विद्यालयं गमिष्यति।
तद् क्रियापद पुटमस्ति खलु, द वर्ब्स् एंड मेटीरियल, कृपया तद् हस्ते स्थापयन्तु। तत्र स्तम्भद्वयं भवति खलु। स्तम्भ मीन्स column. You have the first column with present tense. You also have a future tense column. You also have a bhutakala prayoga column. So you can refer to that to create sentences with different verbs. Tatra drishtva drishtva vakya rachanam kurvantu. अग्रिमं कः वक्तुम् इच्छति? आम्।
अहं ह्यः अपठम्। अहम् इदानीं संस्कृतं पठामि। अहं श्वः संस्कृतं पठिष्यामि।
उत्तमम्, उत्तमम्। अग्रे वदन्तः भवन्तु। आम्, आशा भगिनी।
परह्यः अहं देवालयं गच्छामि स्म। अद्य अहं दोसा पचामि। What is for tomorrow? I forgot. श्वः। परश्वः अहं सवेरा भोजनालयं गमिष्यामि।
उत्तमम् उत्तमम्। दोसां पचामि।
दोसां
द्वितीया विभक्तिप्रयोगः। भवन्तः इदानीं द्वितीया जानन्ति। आं राजी।
धन्यवादः।
Same sentence only. Same sentence in all three sentences.
भवती किमपि वदतु।
कुमारी अतिथीन् पृच्छति, कुमारी अतिथीन् अपृच्छत्, कुमारी अतिथीन् प्रक्ष्यति।
उत्तमम्। शक्नोति चेत् ह्यः तादृशं भूतकालप्रयोगे, भविष्यत्कालप्रयोगः चेत् श्वः इत्यादि, अथवा समयम् अथवा संख्या अथवा मासं किमपि तदा एव स्पष्टं भवति मनसि एतद् भूतकालः, अतः एतादृशप्रयोगः, भविष्यत्कालः अपरप्रयोगः इति। अस्तु।
अद्य शिक्षिका वदति, ह्यः शिक्षिका अवदत्, श्वः शिक्षिका वदिष्यति।
उत्तमं, सम्यक्। अतः श्वः यः चेत् स्पष्टं भवति मनसि।
Yesterday, what do we say? Okay. May I try with tvam? Can I try with tvam? Tvam adya patasi. Tvam shvaha patashyase. Tvam hyaha apatat.
त्वं ह्यः अपठत्। अस्तु। अनन्तरं
त्वं अद्य पठसि, त्वं श्वः पठिष्यसि।
पठिष्यसि।
पठिष्यसि। ओके, पठिष्यसि। थैंक यू।
अग्रिमं सुशी भगिनी।
Shall I go now?
Go Sushi.
Go Sushi.
Okay. बालिकाः ह्यः अक्रीडत्, बालिकाः अद्य विद्यालयं गच्छति, बालिकाः श्वः गृहपाठं पठिष्यति।
बालिकाः इत्युक्ते
बालिका, सोरि, बालिका।
अस्तु। एकवचनं वा बहुवचनप्रयोगं वा इति निश्चयं कृत्वा।
एकवचन। I have written balika and I am reading balika. Mistake.
श्वः अद्य धावति, अश्वः ह्यः अधावत्, ह्यः अधावत्, अश्वः श्वः धाविष्यामि। धाविष्यति, sorry,
धाविष्यति। उत्तमं। स्वामी महोदय।
म्यूट, अनम्यूट।
अहं ह्यः डेट्रायिट् नगरेतः शिकागो नगरे पर्यन्तम् आगतवान्। अहम् अद्य शिकागो नगरे वसामि। अहं श्वः शिकागो नगरेतः डेट्रायिट् नगरे पर्यन्तं गमिष्यामि।
उत्तमम्। नगरतः, नगरेतः न भवति, नगरतः। नगरे वसामि, सम्यक्। नगरतः गच्छामि। अग्रे श्रद्धा भगिनी अस्ति।
I have not got time to study.
चिन्ता नास्ति। सुजाता शंकर भगिनी। म्यूट अनम्यूट करोतु।
ह्यः अहं संस्कृतकक्षायां पठितवती। अहं पठति स्म and apatat, all three.
पठामि स्म।
पठामि स्म। अद्य अहं संस्कृतकक्षायाम् अस्मि। ह्यः श्वः अहं संस्कृतं पठिष्यामि।
उत्तमं, सम्यक् सम्यक्। सुमा भगिनी, लक्ष्मी भगिनी, कीर्तना भगिनी कोऽपि वक्तुम् इच्छति वा? वीडियो मध्ये नास्ति चेत् कृपया भवन्तः स्वयं वदन्तु, नो चेत् अहं न जानामि। इदानीं स्पष्टमस्ति खलु कालत्रयमपि। इतोपि लेखन अभ्यासम् आवश्यकं चेत् कालबोधिनी इति एकं पुस्तकं संस्कृतभारती मध्ये भवति। तत्र बहुविध भिन्न भिन्न अभ्यासाः तत्र ते दत्तवन्तः कालत्रये अपि, अतः तत् स्वीकृत्य कर्तुं शक्नुवन्ति। कालबोधिनी इति पुस्तकस्य नाम, लघुपुस्तकमेव। अस्तु, अग्रे गच्छामः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी, विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। एतत् श्लोकं सामान्यं सर्वे विद्याभ्यासात् पूर्वं वदन्ति। अतः इदानीम् एतस्य अर्थं पश्यामः। अत्र द्वितीयश्लोकमपि एकमस्ति। नमस्ते शारदे देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनी, त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यां बुद्धिं च देहि मे। एतत् श्लोकद्वयमपि पूर्वस्मिन् पाठे अस्ति। 5th चाप्टर् यद्वयं कृतवन्तः, गतवर्गे यद् वयं कृतवन्तः तत्र आसीत्। अतः इदानीम् अर्थं पश्यामः। अस्तु, नमस्ते, नमः अस्तु ते, ते इति सरस्वती देव्याः विषये। नमः नमस्कारं करोमि, अस्तु मम नमस्कारं भवतु। शारदे देवी, शारदे इत्युक्ते अन्यनाम, सरस्वती देव्याः अन्यनाम अस्ति शारदे इति। नमस्ते शारदे देवी, देवी इत्युक्ते सा, स्त्रीलिङ्गं खलु, शारदे देवी। काश्मीरपुरवासिनी, काश्मीरदेशम् अस्ति खलु, तत्र सा वासं करोति। अस्माकं सरस्वती देव्याः वासस्थानं काश्मीरपुरम् इति एतत् श्लोकं वदति। त्वां भवतीम् अहं प्रार्थये, प्रार्थये प्रार्थनां करोमि। कदा कदा प्रार्थनां करोति? नित्यं, प्रतिदिनं, प्रतिदिनं प्रार्थनां करोमि। किमर्थं? धनं मम कृते दानं, दानं करोतु। कीदृशदानं? दानं, विद्यादानं करोतु। प्रतिदिनम् अहं दानं करोमि, भवती देहि मम कृते ददातु। किं दातव्यं? विद्यादानं ददातु इति अर्थः। इदानीं प्रतिपदं पश्यामः। नमः, नमः, न मम, वाक्यद्वयं न मम। ते भवतीं, शारदे, शारदे इत्युक्ते वस्तुतः शरद रिपुः अस्ति खलु, द सीजन कॉल्ड शरद. So the one who is worshipped during the Sharad time. In fact, during the Navratri, the last 3 days we celebrate for Saraswati Ma. So the one who is worshipped during the Sharad time can be called as Sharade. Is my net okay? I'm hearing a little bit of my own echo.
It's fine, Guru. It's perfectly
okay. I am
Tanina,
hearing
we are able to-
a little bit.
Everybody should be muted. Everybody should be muted. Your voice is fine.
Okay. So I just thought maybe I should change my network. Just give me 1 second because I'm hearing my echo. I'm not able to talk properly. I'm just resharing it. दृश्यते वा? Slide first. So Sharad Ripu. Sharad means the winter set, right? So she is prayed during the Sharad Ritu. So she is Sharade. That is one of the meaning of Sharade. And then Sharade can also mean the onset of winter season itself. So typically September to November, that season, right? So that is the time people usually worship or even start newer ventures. They want to start gaining knowledge. So the Vijayadashmi time, everything comes at that time. So she is Sharade. And then this is one interesting thing, Kashmira Puravasini. So if you just look at the reason why that is mentioned, we speak about what we call as the Saraswati Nadi. Saraswati is the name of Mata Saraswati. There was also a river which is called as Saraswati River, which is mentioned even in the Mahabharata times. You know, when the Kurukshetra war starts, it is mentioned that Parashurama went on a pilgrimage entirely along the coast of the Saraswati Nadi. And he was telling, you know, these rivers are actually drying off and things like that. And he goes to the different Punya Tirthas and has a snana and all that. So the entire civilization was around the Saraswati River. In fact, later we started calling it as Indus and then Sindhu, and so we are Hindu. A lot of things came up after that. So this Saraswati River, the banks of that was the Takshashila also, one of the biggest universities of our country. So that Takshashila produced, you know, a lot of genius students. So a lot of our Munis and all used to teach there, our Rishis and all used to teach there. So that Takshashila became a source of knowledge, which was beside the Saraswati River. So the deity was also addressed as Saraswati in many situations. So we really don't know if that fed into this or this fed into that. But then that knowledge abundance was called as Saraswati, Sharada, etc., etc. So that is another concept of Sara. And another thing is the word Sarade has that Sara in it, which is the essence. Essence means the wisdom, eloquence, knowledge, etc. Sharade, dadatu, dhana kriya. So Sharade means the essence of the knowledge, the one who offers the essence of the knowledge can also be called as Sharada. So in one word, a lot of such things are communicated. So Sharade can mean the season. Sharade can be the address of knowledge for Saraswati on the banks of that, because Kashmira Puravasini is mentioned. Sara can also be the essence. The can be Dadati, Sharade. The essence of the knowledge and wisdom is given by her. Therefore, she's Sharade. So a lot of things are mentioned by that. So Namaste Sharade Devi Kashmira Puravasini. So what do we do? Tvam aham prataye nityam. So I worship you every day. Kada pratayami? Nityam pratayami. Kam pratayami? Tvam pratayami. Ka pratayati in our case, feminine gender. Aham pratayami. So tvam aham prataye nityam. Kimartam pratayati vidyadanam cha dehi me. Kam datavyam me dehi. So you can understand all these different forms. So I will recite it. You can.
Ravina, this Kashmira Pura, you said it is because of the location of the Saraswati river, is it? Why is she called Kashmir?
That is one of the reasons. The second is there used to be a huge
university,
worship in Kashmir. And in fact, that is where the Brahma Sutras and other Bhashyams was preserved and the knowledge database exchanged. So that place was supposed to be a knowledge embodiment. So Saraswati is supposed to have been there. In fact, the Brahma Sutras, the Bhashyas of the Brahma Sutras, so, okay, you've touched on one of my favorite topics. So the Brahma Sutras is basically, we explained about the concept of Vedas in our earlier explanations. We have 4 Vedas, and Vedas have the Karma Kanda in the initial part. The Jnana Kanda, or the contemplation, is on the end of the Vedas. That's why it's called as Vedanta and all that. Now, there are so many of these Vedantas that Sage Vedavyasa, what he did is he took the essence from all these Upanishads and then created small aphormins with it for us to easily by heart it. So those are called as the sutras. The aphormins are called as sutras, and he called these as Brahma Sutras because from this we can understand the Brahma Jnanam. So the ultimate knowledge is contained in these small Brahma Sutras. So the essence of everything that we have to know, we call it as the Tattva Trayam, including the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutras, and the Vedas, everything we have to understand. So the Tattvas of all the Upanishads are contained in these Brahma Sutras. So this Brahma Sutra was nourished in Kashmir. So all the great sages who are worth their name will be acknowledged as great, philosophers only if they have written a Bhashyam on Brahma Sutra. That was her lineage. So if you write it in alignment to what Vedavyasa has mentioned, then you have that Brahma Shastra. So why do we have these categories of Advaitam, Vishishtadvaitam, Dvaitam, everything? Because Sage Adi Shankara, Sage Ramanuja, Sage Madhvacharya, everybody wrote Bhashyas on Brahma Sutra. And this Brahma Sutra was, there in Kashmir. So that was a knowledge board. So Kashmira Puravasini was, an abode of knowledge which was retained there. In fact, there is a story in Bhagavad Ramanuja Charitram where after he wrote the explanation, in Kashmir, Saraswati gave it to him saying that this is in line with the thinking of Saraswati. So that is the greatest compliment a person could give. So the story goes like that. So it's like that place was a knowledge, resource, and Takshashila was beside the Saraswati river. So they fed each other. So that is the way we understand it. Okay. So going back to our sloka. So I'll say it. You all can repeat after me. Namaste Sharade Devi.
Namaste Sharade Devi.
Kashmira Puravasini.
Kashmira Puravasini.
Tvamaham Prarthaye Nityam.
Tvamaham Prarthaye Nityam.
Vidyam Buddhim Cha Dehi Me.
Vidyam buddhim cha dehi.
He Kashmira Puravasini, Sharade Devi. So which vibhakti is this? He Sharade, He Devi.
Sambodhana.
Sambodhana Pratama. That is the way we should understand, okay? Aham Tvam Nityam Prarthaye. So Prarthaye, what is it?
Atmane.
It is like Vande, right? So Aham Vande, Aham Prarthaye. Uttama Purusha. So Aham Tvam Nityam Prarthaye. Nityam, what vibhakti is it?
Dvitiya.
Vidyam Buddhim Cha Dehi. Vidyam Buddhim vibhakti?
Dvitiya.
So, does it not give you a pleasure when you identify these things? That's the amazing part, right? Agrimam?
So Tvam also is Dvitiya Vibhakti of Tvam. Is it? No.
Over here is
Unnai Nan. Unnai Nan.
To you, aham.
No, I'm asking, what is the Dvitiya Vibhakti of Tvam? I haven't referred the table.
Today we will be reciting the tables. We will go into the Dvitiya Vibhakti.
Tvamaham. Tvamaham.
Tvam aham. So I will go into I will connect it with this. We'll be able to understand it better. Okay. Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Varade Kamarupini.
Varade Kamarupini.
Vidyarambham karishyami.
Vidyarambham karishyami.
Siddhir bhavatu me sadha.
Siddhir bhavatu me sada.
Uttama. This is again a very familiar sloka. All of you can just wait. I'm having some disturbance here. So Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini. Look at how interesting these phrases are, you know. So here Saraswati refers to goddess Saraswati. Again, Ho Saraswati. It is the Sambodhana Pratama. Namaha Tubhyam. Tubhyam Namami. So we learned that we can have different forms for the same vibhakti, right? So Tubhyam, Te, all these are the different forms. When we look into the vibhakti chart, we will again connect to this. Varade Kamarupini. Varade. Earlier we learnt about Sharade, right? So Sharade, I said the Sara can be understood as an essence and the Dadati, Data Kriya. Here also, Vara. Vara is boon. They, Dadati iti Kriya. In fact, in Kanchipuram, there is this temple called Varada, right? Atti Varada, all of us went and worshipped. So, Varam Dadati iti Varadaha. So, here it is Strilingam, Varam De. So, Varade. You're addressing Sharada as Varade. So, the one who gives the boons, Varade. Kamarupini. So this is a very, very interesting phrase here. Kamarupini. Now, who takes the form of what we want? Now, look at the depth in this phrase. Kamarupini. Goddess Saraswati takes the form that we need. So, which means that we desire to learn a particular knowledge. She takes that knowledge. We take something else, she takes that knowledge. So depending on what is our desire to achieve, she can take that form. And Varade, she can give us that boon also where we take that form, where we, the knowledge is transferred, right? So she takes that form, gives us that form. So Kamarupini. So whatever form in which we look at the knowledge, she can gain that kind of a knowledge. Such a beautiful thing, communicated in one word itself. So, and she can also give our desires because knowledge gives whatever we want, right? End of it, we have to know something in order to accomplish this. So our desires are also satisfied because of that knowledge. So Kama Rupini. Yes.
So I, in fact, when I read this, I had a question for you. It's just for my own understanding. So here, Kama Rupini is actually, so I struggled with the translation earlier too. Kama doesn't stand for lust, but Kama stands for work. She gives a shape to your work and your knowledge. Is that how I should interpret it?
Yeah, Kama can mean desire.
Desire.
Oh, so it doesn't have to be. Okay.
So it is desire. Okay. Lust is one of the forms of desires, but here it means desire at large.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Okay,
anything that I want to learn, anything I want to implement. So the scope is wide, including the Brahmajnanam. So that can be my desire. So any desire the devotee wants, she satisfies by giving that appropriate knowledge.
Thanks.
So, so we were understanding Saraswati, O Saraswati, Namastubhyam. So Namaha Tubhyam. Varade. So here the is the Dhatu Kriya. So Vara is the boon. So Varade, the giver of the Varada. In fact, I think in one of the Vidyanidhi, I also explained this, So for the cloud, we can have Jala added with the Jaladha, which means the cloud which gives rains and all that. So Ambudha. So when the is added, the Dana Kriya is added to it. Okay. So Vasudha. Vasudha is the giver of wealth, boon. Vasudhaiva Kutumpakam. We learned that earlier also in one of the slokas, right? Ayam nidya paroveti gananalagu chetasa udara charita namtu Vasudhaiva Kutumpakam. So Vasudha can also be the giver of wealth. So all this da, whenever it is added, it will give you the meaning of dadati, dana kriya. So Kamarupini. Vidyarambam, Vidya Arambam. So I'm going to start my knowledge. Karishyami. Karishyami Bhavishyat Kala Prayogaha. Karoti, Karishyati. Uttama Purusha Prayogaha, Karishyami. Siddhihi Bhavatu. Siddhir Bhavatu. Siddhihi, accomplishment. Bhavatu, let me accomplish it. Okay. Me. Sada, always. So always let me accomplish these things. Okay. So it's a very, very simple sloka, but very deep in meaning as usual. So
Guru, in Calcutta, if I can just say, we celebrated Saraswati Puja in the end of January, beginning of February.
Okay.
That was the beginning of it was also called Basant Panchami.
Ah, okay.
So in our school, we used to do Saraswati Puja always on that day, and that's regarded as the most auspicious date where without seeing the calendar, anybody can get married on that day.
Ah, we have a similar thing which we do for Vijayadashmi, where no auspiciousness, nothing is required. People start their learning on after the Navratris, the 10th day after we complete the Navratri, it's celebrated as Vijayadashmi.
We call it Vidyarambam Day, no? We
Vidyarambam.
call it Vidyarambam Day.
Maybe.
Same thing in Calcutta. It's on generally the end of Jan or beginning of Feb.
Wow.
Also, I remember, just curious, I thought Saraswati Puja in Navratri is also called Ayudha Puja, where people bring their instruments, equipment, and have it blessed by Saraswati, I think, correct?
Yes,
Exactly.
because skills also, she has to help you develop your skills.
Yeah.
So that's Saraswati, right? So the Ayudha Puja is a Saraswati Puja actually.
Saraswati,
Yes.
in fact, it is also considered as a day of giving gratitude to our anything that we use. So we worship. The kind of culture where we worship the tools of the trade. So that is the greatness of it. Yes, we call it Saraswati Puja, we call it Ayudha Puja, everything a day of gratitude to anything which we've been using. So, all right. So these were the two slokas I wanted to finish in the previous chapter. Okay. So if you look at this Saraswati sloka also, there is a use of the word, where is the Sharadi? There is the use of the word cha, vidyam, buddhim, cha, dehi, me. Okay. So the use of such words, cha, api, chet, these are typically very useful when you want to expand your sentences, create longer sentences, and communicate more using a single sentence. So the concept of avyayas come into picture. That is what we'll be looking into today. Okay. So cha is the avyaya. We will go into the details of cha at this point of time. Okay.
Maybe one quick clarification. Yeah. Siddhi. Does Siddhi word denote only success, or does it also support moksha? Can it go for moksha and success both?
Siddhi is not usually moksha, but it is called a success. So the siddhi of something can result in moksha. Siddhi is like an accomplishment. You can apply it in so many different aspects.
Also skill, right? Siddhi is also skill.
It is skill, the readiness. So I want to acquire this skill. I'm ready to do this. Aham siddha asmi. You can say that, which means I'm ready. So if you use it in the context of moksha, he is ready for moksha, or because of this he attained moksha. In that context, you can use it. It is not independently equivalent of moksha.
So Pravina, Bhagini, for one word in Sanskritam, there are so many meanings. So is it necessary for us to know for in which context we use the particular word, because the meaning kind of slightly differs in the sentences? So should we be aware of that all the time?
That is the reason we go into the dhatu. So you go into the root word, and you have this dhatu rupam where every root word will have a meaning. So you will take that meaning, and then depending on the vibhakti, every vibhakti has a meaning. We've learned that, right? So we've learned only the first two vibhaktis, but it is good enough for us to understand that, okay, Dvitiya vibhakti means it is applied only in the context of it being an object, it being, in this context, etc. So you take the dhatu or you take the pratipadikam, apply it to the appropriate vibhakti to find it. Or you take the dhatu rupam, if it is a verb, and then go into the root verb's meaning and then see where it applies. So typically one root, now I was just saying, dha means give, dana kriya. So the dana kriya, when it is prefixed with something, you can have a meaning. When it's suffixed with something, you can have a meaning. So with the same root, we can keep expanding it. In fact, that's the beauty of the bhasha, because the root is the meaning itself. And you expand on it. That is why when you look at some slokas, you go to the very first sloka of Raghuvamsha, what will happen is one small root will be the beginning, and then they will add some prefix to it. So you go get into a meaning, and then they will add suffix to it. They will add a meaning. And then when you keep looking at the whole sentence, the entire sentence will itself be one complete sloka, where the result will be, a totally different butter which is churned from the milk kind of a thing, So that is a very, very beautiful thing they arrive at, even without splitting the words or doing anything with a single word, all those things happen. So I was recently reading some forwarded message in WhatsApp, where it started by saying, the means give. Then Dhanush means the one who received the bow. And then it said it was received by Parashurama. And then Parashurama gave it to Rama. So it addressed Rama. And then Rama broke the thing. And because Sita got married to Rama who broke, then there was another phrase which came. And then Sita was addressed. It just went on. And the entire meaning was basically to address Rama and Sita as a couple. It was a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
With the root word. It was a very enjoyable sloka. So
Guru, do we have one more example? One more example, like what you gave, like Vasudha, like any other word that you can tell us?
Yes, Vasudha is basically the earth. Vasu is earth. So Guru. Earth. Vasudha can be the giver of the wealth of earth. Similarly, you have Ambuda. Ambuda can be the clouds, So the giver of water, or Jalada can also be clouds because they give water to us. So whenever, or Varada, giver of boons. So all these, whenever da is added, now Vara means boon, Varada means giver of boon. Jala means water, Jalada means giver of water. So Ambu also means water, Ambuda means giver of water. Vasu means wealth, Vasudha means giver of wealth. So these kind of phrases can be used.
What I meant is in place of the, I mean, any other, you can give an example?
Yeah, definitely. In the place of the, all the dhatus are like that. All the suffixes. Actually, we will be dealing with one topic called pratyaya, which is upcoming in the book. So I will go into details of, because we have 21 pratyayas, which we'll be dealing with. So it is a topic by itself. So I will go into that. Pra, para, everything is there. And the suffixes are also there. So we will be learning the pratyayas and the suffixes. Everything will be going into the details. But there are plenty like this. So, okay. So today I was wanting to go into the avyayas. So we'll just get into the avyayas and okay. So in the 6th chapter, the phrase starts with Chitte Vachi Kriyayam Cha Mahatam Ekarupata. So chitte is chittam, intellect, right? Vachi, vak, words. Kriya is action. So kriyayam cha mahatam ekarupata. So thinking or the thought, words and the deeds must be in sync. We have to think, speak and act in a coordinated fashion. So mahatam ekarupata. So for wise people, all these are aligned together. So that is this phrase which is used in this context. So the idea here is how do we align these three together? There is one beautiful Subhashitam. This is actually the last pankti of that Subhashitam. So the Subhashitam goes like, Yatha chittam tata vacho. So as they think, so they speak. Yatha vachas tata kriyaha. What they speak, so they act. That is the way they perform. Chitte vachi kriyayam cha mahatam eka rupata. So thought, words and deeds therefore get aligned in the same manner. So manaha yatha vidyate tata bhavati asmakam vachanam.
Manasa cha karmana. That's one line comes from Guru. Manasa vacha karmanam.
Yeah.
Karmanam.
So vachanugunam bhavati asmakam vyavaharaha. Depending on the way we talk, our vyavaharas will be there. Sajjananam manaha vachanam vyavaharam cha samana vidha bhavanti. So it will be the same for wise people. So we have to ensure that we align our thoughts to our words, words to our action, thereby ensuring that all these three are in the same line. In fact, I will please Raji with this phrase. Andal, Tirupavai uses the same phrase. Vayinal paadi, manadinal sindittu tumala tuvitoldu. So you sing, thinking about Krishna in your words. You also contemplate on Krishna in your mind. And you perform your act of offering flowers to Krishna in the same way. Thereby all these three are aligned. In fact, in Sandhya Vandana, when you do, or Raj would be knowing, in Sahasranama also, they recite at the end of the Sahasranama, Kayena Vacha, Manasendriyaiva, Buddhyatmanava, Prakriti Swabhava, Karomi Yatyat, Sakalam Parasmai, Narayanayeti, Samarpayami. Here also, Kaya, Kayena, Vacha, Vak, Manaha, mind. So all these should be aligned together. They also add Indriyaiva, all the Indriyas. Buddhi, Atmana, everything, should be aligned together. Prakriti Swabhava, Karomi Yatyat, whatever I do, I offer it at the feet of God. So these kind of statements where all our thoughts, words and deeds are aligned is extremely important. That is what this phrase says.
In fact, I was just Googling in classical dance and Bharatanatyam, we have a verse. I forgot. I'll put it in the group later.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go into that. But if we keep doing this, I'm really worried. How am I ever going to go into chapter 6 or complete it? Okay, so let's go into this chapter. Okay, now I want to explain about the concept of cha as a avyayam. Idanam pashyantu Ramaha, Sita, Lakshmanaha cha vanam gacchanti. Atra pashyantu Ramaha vanam gacchati. Sita vanam gacchati, Lakshmanaha vanam gacchati. Ataha Ramaha, Sita, Lakshmanaha cha vanam gacchanti. Atra cha iti avyayam iti uchyate. Avyayam.
What's the meaning of avyayam? What is
Vadami. Anjaneyaha Ramam Lakshmanam cha pashyati. Anjaneyaha Ramam pashyati. Anjaneyaha Lakshmanam pashyati. Anjaneyaha Ramam Lakshmanam cha pashyati. Yatrikaha.
So the question, can I just clarification? So the question I could ask is ke vanam gacchanti. Is that a question I can ask?
Ke vanam gacchanti, paryaptam.
Enough. Okay.
Grama ग्रामात् वनात् नगरात् च जनाः आगच्छन्ति। जनाः ग्रामात् आगच्छन्ति, जनाः वनात् आगच्छन्ति, जनाः नगरात् आगच्छन्ति। अतः ग्रामात् वनात् नगरात् च जनाः आगच्छन्ति। अतः च इति उपयोगे बृहत् वाक्यनिर्माणं कर्तुं शक्नुमः। लघुवाक्यानि उपयुज्य बृहत् वाक्यनिर्माणं कर्तुं शक्नुमः। अत्र पश्यन्तु, माता च पिता च पुत्रः, माता च पिता च पुत्रः च आपणं गच्छन्ति। एतदपि सम्यक् एव। च इति पदप्रयोगः मध्ये मध्ये भवति चेदपि सम्यक् एव। संस्कृते तदपि कर्तुं शक्नुमः। नो चेत् अन्तिमे एव आगन्तव्यं। माता पिता पुत्रः च आपणं गच्छन्ति, एतदपि सम्यक्। किन्तु माता च पिता पुत्रः इति वक्तुं न शक्नुमः। So we have to use cha at the end if you are using it only once in a sentence. If you are going to use it multiple times, then you can use it intermediately. But you can't use it somewhere in the middle and not use it at the end. This is not accepted grammatically. Astu? So that is the rule here. So mata cha pita cha putraha cha apanam gachanti is correct. Mata pita putraha cha apanam gachanti is also correct. But you can't say mata cha pita putraha apanam. This is wrong usage. Okay. So we have to be conscious about that. Okay. Now, api is also a avyayam. I'll come to the definition of avyayam after I finish 2-3 avyayams. So, api atra pashyantu Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha vanam gacchataha. Sita api gacchati. Atra pashyatu Ramaha Lakshmanaha cha vanam gacchataha. Sita api. Sita also joined. So Sita api gacchati. Anjaneyaha Ramam pashyati. Saha Lakshmanam api pashyati. Api is also a avyayam. Yatrikaha Railyanena Vimanena cha gacchati. Karyanena api gacchati. Ramaha Lakshmanaha Anjaneyaha Vanaraha cha Lankam gachanti. Sugrivaha api gacchati. Okay, so api also cha and, but don't translate it because there are rules that follow cha. You can't use it like and, somewhere in between. Samskrute ante eva bhavitavyam. Ataha cha iti smarantu. Api. Sometimes we also use the phrase api cha. So those are not allowed when you use in other languages, right? So ataha api etadrisham eva smarantu. Cha iti api samanam smarantu. एतत् कथां शिष्याः एतत् कथां सर्वे जानन्ति वा? अहम् एतत् कथां वदामि, संस्कृते वदामि, शृण्वन्तु। शृण्वन्तु कथाम् एकां। द्रोणाचार्यः आसीत्। द्रोणाचार्यः महाभारते वयं पश्यामः खलु, द्रोणाचार्यः आसीत्। एकवारं तस्य शिष्याः भवन्ति, कौरवाः पाण्डवाः च। गुरुः चिन्तितवान्, अहम् एकं परीक्षां ददामि इति। अतः तान् आहूय तत्र धनुर्विद्या, I'll just keep this on the screen so that you can watch it. इदानीं अत्र एकः वृक्षः अस्ति। वृक्षे एकं खगं निर्माय स्थापितवान्। He created a bird in wood or something. सः तद् वृक्षे स्थापितवान्। स्थापयित्वा शिष्यान् आहूय द्रोणाचार्यः उक्तवान्, तत्र किं भवन्तः द्रष्टुं शक्नुवन्ति इति। तदा एकैकः आगत्य अहं मम सहोदरान् पश्यामि, अहं तत्र वृक्षाः पश्यामि इत्यादि सर्वे एकैकः आगत्य वदन्ति। तदा सर्वे शिष्याः वृक्षशाखां पर्णं खगं च पश्यन्ति इति उक्तवन्तः। शिष्याः वृक्षशाखायां, वृक्ष ट्री, शाखायां branch, पर्णं leaf, खगं bird च पश्यन्ति इति उक्तवन्तः। उक्तवन्तः भूतकालप्रयोगः। अर्जुनः खगस्य नेत्रम् एव दृष्टवान्। अर्जुनः किम् उक्तवान्? खगस्य नेत्रम् एव पश्यति। अतः द्रोणाचार्यः अस्तु इदानीम् उपयोगं करोतु इति उक्तवान्। अर्जुनः यदा उपयोगं कृतवान् साक्षात् खगस्य नेत्रं प्रति गतम् इति कथा भवति। अतः सः एव धनुर्धरः इति आचार्यस्य आशीर्वादम् अभवत्। So Arjuna could see just the eye of the bird. He did not see anything else. That was his kind of focus. So when he left everything else, then he could, point his arrow straight on the eye of the bird, and then he could hit the target. That is why he was called as Dhanurdhara, and Dronacharya is said to have groomed him better than anybody else, because when our focus is distributed everywhere, we don't accomplish what we want, right? Because Yudhishthira, Duryodhana, everybody said, I can see all my brothers, I can see the mountains, I can see the trees, sarvamapi te drishtavantah. Ataha te sakshat upayogam kartum, banasya upayogam kartum na shaktavantah. Kintu Arjunah kagaha api na, kagasya netram eva drishtavan, ataha sakshat tatra eva saha upayogam kartum shaktavan.
Guru, eva means only, am I right?
Satyam, satyam.
Ekagra chitta.
Satyam, ekagra chittam. Satyam,
Chittam Arjunaha pashyati. How do you say that? Ekagra chittam. He
chittena Arjunaha
drishtavan. Chittena. Dhanyavadah.
Uttam. अतः एतादृश एकाग्रता आवश्यकी इति एव अत्र विषयः। अस्तु, अतः इदानीं च इति पदप्रयोगं वयं दृष्टवन्तः, अपि इति पदप्रयोगं वयं दृष्टवन्तः। एतत् सर्वम् अव्ययम् इति उच्यते। सदृशं त्रिषु लिङ्गेषु सर्वासु विभक्तिषु वचनेषु च सर्वेषु यन्न व्येति तद् अव्ययम्. So the definition of avyayam is sadrisham trishu lingeshu. In all the three lingas, it will not change. So it will make our life easy. So today Neena ji was asking me, right? Is it going to get more complicated? No, it's going to get simpler today, because you don't have, the vibhakti based or linga based thing for avyayas. So in all three lingas, in all three vibhaktis, in all three vachanas, the one which does not have any change is called as an avyayam. That is the definition of avyayam. So in this example, cha was a avyayam, api is a avyayam, eva. So we will be looking at many different avyayams going forward. So the one which does not have these kind of declension based on the vachanas, lingas, vibhakti is called as a avyaya.
Avyaya Purusa Shakshi, what does that mean, Guru?
Avyaya in case of Bhagavan would mean that he just can't be, declined based on the vachana or vibhakti. He is beyond all this. He cannot be, categorized into or grouped into anything. And he's avyaya means that he's indivisible. He does not have a gender, So I will send you a link where I've spoken about avyaya alone for 15 minutes. Bhagavan is avyaya for 15 minutes. I'll send that link in this today. So that was one of the names of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So I have explained the meaning in that context. So I will send that. Okay. So going forward. Railyane yatrikaha nidram kurvanti. Chalakaha eva nidram na karoti. Chalakaha. So the driver can't sleep, right? So Chalakaha eva nidram na karoti. Yatrikaha nidram kurvanti. Bahuvachana prayoga. So eva na. Pita eva karyalayam gacchati. Pita karyalayam eva gacchati. Pita karyalayam gacchati eva. This is an exception to the standard rule that we use in Sanskritam, where irrespective of changing the words, the meaning will not change. You know, that we have explained earlier, eva is actually an exception to that. So here, Pita eva karyalayam gacchati ityukte, grihe anya sarve karyalayam na gachanti. Balakaha vidyalayam gacchati, karyalayam na gacchati. So Pita eva karyalayam gacchati means father alone goes to work. Pita karyalayam eva gacchati means the father goes only to work. Pita karyalayam gacchati eva means he'll definitely go to work. So this eva is a unique thing where depending on its positioning, the meaning changes. So it is an exception. Okay. 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 So before I go on to
Pravina Bhagini. Pravina Bhagini, I just wanted a little bit of the sentence. Etat Railyanam Vakyam Sarva Yatra Chalakani Satyam. It's for all the drivers.
Satyam. Chalakaha sarvada nidrameva na kartum shakyate khalu satyameva. Astu idanam vakya rachanam kurmah. Cha upayujya vakyani. Idanim pashyamah. Sujata Bhagini, Neena Bhagini, Kala Bhagini cha adya Geetam Gayanti. Okay, we all wanted to sing a song for Kavita, right? Maybe all of you can join. We sing it here. I'll press the record and then we can send it off to her. So,
that's so sweet of you.
So, cha ityukte tatra yojanartam. Vakyani.
Tvameva mata chapita tvameva.
Satyameva vakya rupena vadatu. Satyameva tvameva mata pita bandhu cha bhagavan
cha saka tvameva. Like I'm just recollecting prayers in which all these prayogas are there.
Aham pita madhu gita cha apanim gacchati.
Punaha vadatu.
Aham Sita Madhu, some random names I'm saying. Sita Madhu Gita cha apanim gachanti.
At this point, avoid combining aham with others because the usage is different. We've not dealt with all that. Try to either say they or say we. One of the, say they. They is easier.
Okay.
Gita Madhu cha apanam gachanti. Agreement?
Krishna Balarama Mitram cha vanam gachanti.
Krishna Balarama tatsarvam pratama vibhakti madhye bhavitavim khalu. Krishna
Balarama mitrasya anya mitrani cha vanam gachanti.
Anya mitrena saha iti bhavati. Tritiya vibhakti.
Yeah, I was wondering because it become complicated, so I might just stick with Krishna Balarama cha vanam gachanti.
Vanam gachanti. Uttam. Anya vakyam. Or you can use api. We've learned api, right? So Krishna Balarama vanam gachanti. Mitrani api vanam gachanti. We just now learned api.
Okay. Dhanyavada.
So Pravina, can I say Pravina and the person on the screen, Asha. Pravina, Asha, Raj, Cha, Samskrita, just say Patanti, and I can also say Lakshmi, Api, Patati.
Lakshmi Api Patati, Samyak.
And Raj, I was thinking we are all going for a movie and it's going to be your treat.
Definitely. You tell me when. Okay, I get to pick to choose the movie. That's it. Okay. Next.
Samskrita Chatraha Sarve Chalanochitram Gachanti Raj Mahodayah Danam Dasiti.
Ravina Eva na Gachati. Because you're in Singapore, yeah, that's right.
Singapore
Some will
Prasad.
take-
अस्तु भवतु नाम अस्तु एतद् अपि च इतोपि एकवाक्यं कोऽपि वक्तुम् इच्छति वा अग्रे चरामः नीना भगिनी वदतु वाक्यं वदतु च उपयोगं
Yeah. Come on, Nina. Come on. I'm pulling for you.
म्यूटेड् अस्ति
The next one. Can someone
Astu.
try this? I'll do the next.
अस्तु च सुजाता भगिनी
पुत्र पिता च कार्यालय गच्छन्ति माता अपि गच्छति
पिता पुत्रः च कार्यालयं will it be गच्छति or गच्छति गच्छतः
Because it's true.
गच्छति
माता अपि गच्छति
माता अपि गच्छति उत्तमम् अन्ये सर्वे अवगतवन्तः वा
Then Pravina Guru, this sentence that I said, Krishnaha Balaramaha cha vanam gachatah, is it?
correct गच्छतः
Because I said gachanti. Then I said mitrena se gachanti. Then
you can
repeat.
use मित्रेण सह तृतीया विभक्ति मित्रेण सह गच्छति
Astu. Dhanyavadah.
अस्तु So I wanted to do quite a few avyayas today. I will show you what I had planned. So you will know where we are against what I wanted to. So, okay. So this is va, na, ma, evam, yatha, tata. All these are there. Yada, tada, yatrat. All this I wanted to do. But it's okay. Quite a few things pending. We will do it in the upcoming class or maybe midway if you all find time, we can have one more session. So I want you all to practice reciting the Shabdas. Okay, that is one thing which is going to help you all a lot going forward. In fact, the previous class, I remember we reciting some Shabdas. I also sent a recorded version. Have any of you been listening to it or doing it in your study circles? The every morning recitation of Shabdas. We did that in the Govinda tune, right?
Yeah.
That.
Okay, so I will just do a few Shabdas now. We'll not have time for all the Shabdas, but please practice all the Shabdas. From the next class, I want you all to take turns to start reciting it at the end of the class. Okay, so that it will get into our subconscious very easily. So today I will do 2 or 3 Shabdas because it's already past time. And then you can just practice it by yourself, all right? I've already sent the links in or the videos and the charts in our group. So please have a look at it so that it becomes easier going forward. I will repeat the Rama Shabda. I mean, I will recite the Rama Shabda now. One of you can repeat after me.
Shall I? Shall I, Guru?
Yes, yes. You can. अकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः रामशब्दः
अकारान्तः पुंलिङ्गः रामशब्दः.
So all of you can just remain muted, but you all can repeat it so that it will get by hearted for you also. Okay. Govinda. Sudha Bhaini, you remember the tune of that?
Ramaha Ramo Ramaha. He Rama, He Ramo Rama.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ramaha Ramo Ramaha. Ramam Ramo Raman. Okay. So Ramaha Ramo Ramaha.
Ramaha Ramo Ramaha.
Ramam Ramo Raman.
Ramam Ramo Raman.
रामेण रामाभ्यां रामैः
रामेण रामाभ्यां रामैः
रामाय रामाभ्यां रामेभ्यः
रामाय रामाभ्यां रामेभ्यः
रामात् रामाभ्यां रामेभ्यः
रामात् रामाभ्यां रामेभ्यः
रामस्य रामयोः रामाणाम्
रामस्य रामयोः रामाणां
रामे रामयोः रामेषु
रामे रामयोः रामेषु
हे राम हे रामो हे रामः
हे रामो हे रामः
आकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः सीता शब्दः
आकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः सीता शब्दः
सीता सीते सीताः
सीता सीते सीताः
सीतां सीते सीताः
सीतां सीते सीताः
सीतया सीताभ्यां सीताभिः
सीतया सीताभ्यां सीताभिः
सीतायै सीताभ्यां सीताभ्यः
सीतायै सीताभ्यां सीताभ्यः
सीतायाः सीताभ्यां सीताभ्यः
सीतायाः सीताभ्यां सीताभ्यः
सीतायाः सीतयोः सीतानां
सीतयाः सीतयोः सीतानां
सीतायां सीतयोः सीतासु
सीतायां सीतयोः सीतासु
हे
सीतासु
सीते सीते हे सीताः
हे सीते हे सीते हे सीते हे सीताः.
Okay, so just for time constraint, I'm going into the Dakaranta Shabdas. So anybody who wants to follow can. Dakarantaha Pullingaha Tad Shabdaha
दकारान्तः पुल्लिङ्गः तत्शब्दः
Sahatau Te Tam Tautan
सह तौ ते तं तौ तान्
Tena Tabhyam Taihi
तेन ताभ्यां तेहि
Tasmai Tabhyam Tebhyaha
तस्मै ताभ्यां तेभ्यः
Tasmatabhyam Tebhyaha
तस्मात् ताभ्यां तेभ्यः
Tasya Tayoho Tesham
तस्य तयोः तेषां
Tasmin Tayoho Teshu
तस्मिन् तयोः तेषु
Dakarantah Strilingah Tad Shabdah
दकारान्तः स्त्रीलिङ्गः तत्शब्दः
Sa Tetaha Tam Tetaha
सा तेताः तां तेताः
Taya Tabhyam Tabihi
तया ताभ्यां ताभिः
Tasyaitabhyam Tabhyaha
तस्यै ताभ्यां ताभ्यः
Tasyaha Tabhyam Tabhyaha
तस्याः ताभ्यां ताभ्यः
Tasyaha Tayoho Tasam
तस्याः तयोः तासां
Tasyam Tayoho Tasu
तस्यां तयोः तासु
Dakarantah Napunsakalingaha Tad Shabdaha
दकारान्तः नपुंसकलिङ्गः तच्छब्दः
Tattetani Tattetani
तत्तेतानि तत्तेतानि
Tena Tabhyam Taihi
तेन ताभ्यां तैः
Tasmai Tabhyam Tebhyaha
तस्मै ताभ्यां तेभ्यः
Tasmat Tabhyam Tebhyaha
तस्मात् ताभ्यां तेभ्यः
Tasya Tayoho Tesham
तस्य तेयोः तेषां
Tasmin Tayoho Teshu
तस्मिन् तयोः तेषु.
So Raji was asking me about Tvam earlier, where I said I will explain about Tvam when we come to the Shabdas. So if you look at this, Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam, in the Dvitiya you have Tvam, Tva. So both these can be applicable in the same way. Yuvam, Vam, Yushman, Vaha. So when you come to Dvitiya Vibhakti, Tvam, Aham is also okay. Tva is also okay. So whenever you have these kind of multiple forms for a vibhakti, it is to give you flexibility of usage. So you can use either of this, which is the same. Okay. So vaha can also be used in the Bahuvachana Prayoga in the place of Yushman. So it is acceptable. So that is what I wanted to explain. So Tvam Yuvam Yuyam. So Trishu Lingeshu Samana Upayogaha. Okay. So we will stop it here at this point of time, but please to keep reciting Shabdas. From the next class, I'll have volunteers who can, repeat a few Shabdas for every class. That way we get into the habit of by hearting. Okay. So in our group, you all can see who all wants to next repeat for the upcoming class, which Shabdas, so that we can have a cycling of Shabdas as we progress.
Guru, I have to finish my sentence.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All yours.
Raji, Lakshmi, Sujata, cha graham gachanti.
Uttamam.
Raj also. Api.
Gachati.
Raj, Api, how do I end the sentence? That's it.
Api gachati.
Api gachati.
Rajaha api gachati. Samyak. Uttam. Samyak. So do you all quickly want to
finish my commitment for today?
Uttamam. Samyak.
Uttamam. Good one. Nina?
So, let's start conversing a little more in Sanskritam. In fact, I consciously use more of Sanskritam today in our class because that's how we, get tuned to speaking and listening to Sanskritam going forward. And Shabdas, I can't stress on it more. Please repeat it, make it part of your dinacharya, just like your prayers. Govinda, Hari Govinda, Gokulanandana Govinda, Ramaha Ramau Ramaha, Ramam Ramau Raman, Sita Site Sitaha, Sitam Site Sita. So if you start doing this, it gets into your subconscious very easily. Okay. So with this, we will wrap it for today. So if you all want to sing and record it for Kavita, we can. Yes.